this case, the victim had just left this bank that you see behind me. He had no idea someone was watching him and no idea thieves were following him home.
Walking out with this white envelope from the bank, and he's getting it into his duffel bag that he has, not realizing that, the white Jeep Cherokee was following him all the way home.
On February 25th, in a quiet neighborhood in Fallbrook, an unsuspecting man named Adolfo stepped out of a bank, completely unaware that his life, or at least his sense of security, was about to be shaken. Moments earlier, he had withdrawn $3,500 in cash. It wasn't for anything suspicious. It was something personal, something meaningful. He planned to buy his brother's car. The money was placed neatly inside a white envelope, the kind that doesn't look like much, but to the wrong eyes, it means opportunity. And unfortunately, someone was watching. Back at home, what seemed like a peaceful afternoon was slowly turning into the setup of a calculated crime. Surveillance cameras would later reveal everything, every movement, every second.
He doesn't have any kind of suspicion that anything's going on.
That was the reality. Adolfo had no reason to feel unsafe, no reason to look over his shoulder, no reason to think that someone had followed him all the way from the bank. But they had. His daughter Carol, along with her sister, would later sit down and carefully go through the surveillance footage from their parents' home. What they saw was chilling, not because it was loud or violent, but because of how quiet and patient the criminals were. The footage shows Adolfo arriving home. He parks his truck, holding that same white envelope from the bank. Calm, relaxed, completely unaware. That simple moment, captured on camera, would later become the turning point. He places the envelope into his duffel bag, inside the truck. Just a routine action. Something anyone would do. And then, like any normal day, he steps out of the vehicle and heads inside his home, ready to eat lunch. But outside, something wasn't right. A white Jeep Cherokee had been following him, quietly, carefully, keeping just enough distance to avoid suspicion, but never losing track. As the minutes pass, the same vehicle appears again and again in the surveillance footage, slowly driving by the house. Not once, not twice, but repeatedly. Almost like a predator circling its prey. Carol described it in a way that perfectly captures the unsettling nature of what they saw.
They literally are just driving like a fish in a tank, just waiting for their time to hit.
They weren't in a rush. They were waiting for the perfect moment, when no one was watching, when the target was inside, when the risk was lowest, and then that moment came. The white Jeep Cherokee slowly reverses into the parking spot. The movement is deliberate, controlled, almost rehearsed. Within seconds, someone wearing a hoodie jumps out from the back seat. No hesitation, no panic, just action. The thief walks straight to Adolfo's truck, opens the passenger door, and grabs the duffel bag, the same bag containing $3,500 in cash, along with other personal belongings. And just like that, it's gone. The entire act takes only moments. Quick, efficient, silent. Before anyone inside the house could even realize what was happening, the thief was back in the vehicle, and the Jeep sped away. No confrontation, no noise, just disappearance. What they left behind wasn't just financial loss, but emotional damage.
Had a lot of important documents in there. He had spare keys for work. He had his work phone in there, checkbooks.
This wasn't just about money anymore. It was about everything that came with it. Identity, access, personal security, and perhaps the most disturbing part, this wasn't random. It's a methodical and growing tactic. Criminals wait outside banks, watching customers closely. They look for signs, envelopes, deposit bags, anything that suggests cash. Then they follow, quietly, patiently, until the moment is right. It's not just theft, it's strategy. And for families like Adolfo's, the impact is deeply personal.
This really hurts the family, doesn't it?
It does. It sure does.
Carol now carries a message. not just for justice, but for awareness. Because what happened to her father could happen to anyone. A normal day, a simple bank visit, a short drive home. That's all it takes. She hopes that by sharing this story, others will become more alert, more cautious, and more aware of what's happening around them, especially in moments that feel completely safe.
Be so cautious and be mindful of your surroundings. Make sure you take that money and it goes right away to where it needs to go.
Right now, investigators are still searching, still reviewing footage, still trying to identify the suspects behind this carefully executed crime. Because somewhere out there, someone knows something. And maybe, just maybe, that one piece of information could bring answers to a family that never saw this coming. This story isn't just about theft, it's about awareness. Because danger doesn't always look dangerous. Sometimes it just looks like an ordinary car, passing by again and again, waiting. If this shocked you, hit like right now. Subscribe to the channel, because stories like this happen more often than you think. And you need to stay one step ahead. Turn on notifications so you don't miss what others ignore, because the next story could be closer than you expect. Stay alert, stay smart.